I'm also assisting Helena with today's class.
And I'm Helena. We're from Rit Dye, and we're part of the creative team here. And we are here to show you how to dye 4 things with Rit DyeMore.
4 things that you probably never thought you could dye, but you can.
Exactly. Okay, so we're gonna be dyeing swimsuits. I already have one tied here, and we're gonna be solid dyeing just one, so you can kind of tell the difference between the 2 techniques.
Just in time for summer.
Exactly. Crocs are a really popular item people have been dyeing. We already kind of took one of the straps off, and we'll be dip dyeing these into some Rit DyeMore.
Crocs are pretty much any sort of like rubber clog shoe,
Right, exactly. Yeah. These or just any other type of summer shoe. We will also be dyeing some buttons. They're a little hard to see, but little buttons. They are fully plastic. So oops. Show you how to dye those as well. And then sunglasses. I know. I didn't even know we could dye these. We already kind of cut the lenses off, and I had to try it out. So we dip dyed half of them already, but we will dip the other halves to show you how it's done. Because yeah.
So yeah, we'll be using Rit DyeMore. It's our dye for synthetic fibers. Basically, what we recommend is always to check the garment tag of whatever you're dyeing if you can. And if it says that it's the over 35% synthetic, which is usually polyester, acrylic, or acetate, that means we recommend using Rit DyeMore instead of Rit all-purpose dye, which is our dye for natural fabrics like cotton, linen, and silk. Could also, with all-purpose dye, like things like wood and cork, which was around here somewhere but disappeared. So there's just so many different variety of things that you can dye between Rit DyeMore or our traditional Rit all-purpose dye. Yes. And super excited to be experimenting with things I honestly never thought. Once I started at Rit, I was shocked that you could dye these things.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And the only difference really between the 2, other than like the actual makeups of the dye, is Rit DyeMore needs a lot of heat, which is why we're in front of our kitchen. We have our stovetop going with some water. Pretty hot. But we recommend 200 degrees Fahrenheit,
yeah.
Right?
Just basically 210, technically. Anything that's just below boiling, we don't want it to be boiling because then it can become a little dangerous. So we don't want, dye or water to be splashing out. So we do definitely recommend, as a caution, to make sure that your temperature is maintained just below boiling, which technically is 210 degrees.
Yes, and we'll also show you how
Fahrenheit.
we dye using just like a kettle, using very hot water. You won't get as like saturated colors, but you'll still be able to get a lot of color, and we'll kind of demonstrate that with the buttons and sunglasses here.
Why don't we go over what we need for today?
Yeah, so essentially, first and foremost, our little kitchen tools. I'm using the slotted spoon for the buttons. When you're dyeing really small items, you want to get something like this, because trying to find like a 1-inch button in a giant gallon pot is very difficult to do unless you're pouring the entire thing out. We want to get some tongs so that we can stir our swimsuit in nicely.
And I really like using tongs over like a spoon, because I like to be able to actually, one of the most important things when you dye like clothing is you want to make sure to constantly stir it, and so that all the dye gets to all the areas of the garment or swimsuit in this matter. And so you can really get a good grip with the tongs to make sure you can move everything around easily.
Exactly. Some scissors as well. And then on following along with Jonathan's point about dyeing things evenly, we're adding just a tiny bit of dish soap. This will help to get even coverage for your swimsuit, or it's mostly just your garments that you're dyeing. Step forward.
Okay.
So
speak louder too.
Yes,
yeah.
Dish soap for even dyeing. It acts as a surfactant. We're just gonna add like a teaspoon of it because it'll really boil up, especially with like the 200 degrees water.
And then we wear aprons to protect against clothes. One thing I also wanted to point out, which I made a huge mistake, is I wore white shoes.
Gotta wear black.
Yeah, so if any dye drips out of any of it, could potentially affect the shoes. So you want to make sure you're not wearing any sort of like white clothing, things that easily could get spotted.
Yes.
Dye.
I will say though, from countertops or sinks, the bleach will get rid of it
Totally.
all. So that is okay, but with clothing, once you bleach it, it'll take the color out too.
But
So
the nice thing, if it does get on your clothing, is you could then over dye it with like a darker color. If it was synthetic, you could use like our graphite, which is in DyeMore, or it could use our tried and true black and our all-purpose dye.
Yeah, there are always options to fix whatever might splash up on you. And then last but not least, rubber gloves, especially because we're working with heat. Don't want to get your hands stained or have it be too hot. So this is really important, especially when you're working with hot temperatures. All right, I think that's it. Did we miss anything?
No, I mean, one other thing about just dyeing in general, when you're using a pot or a container, to make sure it's big enough so that the fabric can move freely. So sometimes people get a little hung up if you're dyeing something very large that's synthetic. You really need, we have this big boy to dye it, like for instance, like outdoor cushions or comforters that have synthetic in it. You need like basically a very large pot. So and if you're using all-purpose dye, then you need a very large bin. But in this case, since we're dyeing something small like these clogs or a swimsuit, we are okay with just normal pot size.
Yeah, and you also don't want to use the pot for cooking afterwards. You want to have a dedicated pot just for dyeing, just so that you're not mixing any contaminants.
Yeah. So should we get going with the first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put these to the side here and go ahead and dip dye the other side of these glasses. Pretty sure these are just made of plastic. So yeah, the other side dyed so fast. So I'm interested to see.
Are we gonna go with purple this time, or what are you thinking?
Well, I think it might be too like.
Okay. Yeah. You have really good style, so you know.
Heated up some water on our kettle here. I'm just gonna pour that in.
How much water typically would you recommend?
For garments, I would recommend about 3 gallons. That's kind of like a sweet spot for your garments to move freely. But for small items like this, or like buttons, or even like headbands or scrunchies, I would recommend around 4 cups. And if you check out our color formulas too, it's broken down by 4 cups and then I think 1.5 gallons and then 3 gallons is typically our standard, and then it goes to even larger quantities as well. So check that out.
Yeah.
To 6 gallons. All right. You said purple?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm happy Helena brought up our color formula. It's my favorite feature on our website. If you haven't checked it out, we have over 1,000 different combinations of colors. So you can pretty much get exactly the color you want. And as Helena mentioned, you can scale the recipe based on the size, and it will automatically, change the recipe for you.
All right. You can see it's kind of far off, but I'll bring it closer so you can see it. It's hot. Yeah. And the longer that it's in the dye bath for, the more saturated it'll get. So if you like this lilac shade, I'll bring it closer.
One other thing also that we should have mentioned is always nice to have paper towels around to catch any drips. And if you can't remove them with the paper towel, bleach is really the solution.
It's already kind of lilac, but we want to get it maybe a little bit darker. So let's put
It's really pretty.
It is. And I didn't even think about doing like a 2-tone.
Came up with that right before. It's just so cool that you can customize glasses to be exactly like whatever color you want them to be.
Spray paint them and like have them peel off later. Like this is getting baked into the plastic.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So it's not going to come off. Yeah. That's like the nice differentiation between dye and paint. With paint, it's just coating the surface, so it can chip and can come off. But with dye, it's actually penetrating the substrate, so it's much more like long lasting.
And there's actually like a chemical reaction that happens that helps to really bake it
Set the
in
dye.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, look, it even dyed.
I
They're
try them
really
on?
warm to touch. Yeah.
Let's see. What do you think? Good? You like that?
Yeah. I love them. And
Yeah.
honestly, we can pop these right back in and it'll probably give them like a nice contrast, but
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
One thing about the lenses with popping them out, it's good to start on the bottom because the lens is thinner at that point.
Yes.
Makes it much easier to pop them out than starting on the top where the lenses typically are
Yeah.
like thicker.
And then when you want to pop them back in, it's the opposite. You want to slide in the thicker part first and then snap in the thinner part. So just a little tip that we learned.
You have the original glasses, the white one?
Yeah, they're right over here.
Yeah.
This is how they started. And here they are now.
My choice is always color.
I agree. That looks very fun for summer. All right. And then to demonstrate the buttons, I'm actually just going to throw them right into the same dye bath.
Yeah.
Here we go. They're white here.
So we're not going to use the spoon this time because it's a small.
That's a great call out. But
Yeah.
honestly, when I'm taking them out, I will probably use it.
Okay.
So start to fish out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So we know to fish out 6.
Yeah. And you have been with us, so you know we didn't put in purple buttons in there, or we're not trying to trick you. It's happening in real time here.
You would be surprised how many often we get that comment, right?
Yep.
They don't believe us.
Yeah.
But it's true. You can dye a swimsuit.
People accuse us of like switching items out, and it's no, we're not that. This is fishing your item out.
We talked about getting one of those deep fryers, right?
Yeah. So that we can
Lower
just
them in.
pop them in and out.
Deep fryer basket.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be a DyeMore fryer basket. This has only been in there for, I don't know, I would say like 5 minutes.
No, less.
Less.
Right?
5 seconds, 30 seconds. You guys have been keeping track. 1
1
minute.
minute. Yeah.
And it's already this beautiful lilac color, kind of similar to the glasses. And I think I kind of want to see what they turn out like if we just kind of leave them in there a bit longer. We move on to the other things and then come back
Yeah.
and see if this gets darker.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. We can move on to, should we do swimsuits or props first?
Let's do swimsuits.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do it.
I'm just very excited to be laying in the pool.
Oh, I'm so excited. So we're gonna do one solid dye, just like all over color. So if you have a stain, or you know, you're trying to dye something into one solid color, this is going to be the example for that. And then if you want to have a little bit more fun, we tied this up already, and I'll add another rubber band so you can kind of see how we did it. But I just scrunched it up from the sides and then added some rubber bands pretty tight.
What technique is this?
I think this is just the stripe technique. This will create horizontal stripes. And then I'll add one more here, and then we can go over to our stove and create our dye baths and dip these in.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Are
maybe
you gonna do them both the same color? Maybe we should.
we could
Yeah,
do
we could do them at the same time.
this one. We could dip dye half and see what it turns out like, and then this one we'll just do a solid. Do you have a preference? Should we do blue on this one?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Let's bring you guys over to our other camera, and I'll meet you by the stove. Pots going, and We're going to be using these 3 colors here.
Here, do you want your gloves?
Yes, please.
Always good. If you do not use gloves and you get dye on your hands, don't worry, it won't stain your hands forever, but it will, yes. So Elena's gloved up, she's gonna be adding, so you're gonna create 2 dye baths, right? It's raining pretty hard here and thundering and our flights just flickered, so if we end up losing you, we're sorry, but we hope that hopefully the power will stay on through this. Yeah. Why don't we move the microphone closer to you, Helena?
Well, thank you. All right, we're gonna go in with some Kentucky Sky. I'm gonna pull her over here, about half the bottle for about 3 gallons of water. And then give that a nice stir. And another important tip here, paper towels are really great for testing the color of your dye bath before you submerge your whole item in there before it's too late. Maybe she needs a little bit more. Let's look at the light.
Yeah.
And this is why it's important to test. Press the bottle in there.
Mhm.
And see, because we can always add more water. If your dye bath is too light, add more dye. If it's too dark, add more water.
There's always a way.
Always a way. More pigmented there.
Nice. I like that color.
Yeah. See the difference there.
Yeah. Paper towels are a great way to test the color. An even better way is if you have like a small sample of the fabric, but I know often that's not possible. But if it is, it's always like the most true way to really test the color.
Yes. Like, obviously the swimsuit doesn't have a lot of extra fabric, but if you have a shirt, there's typically like a little lining piece you can maybe take off and then do it with. But swimsuit, the paper towel trick will work for here. And for this one, because we're solid dyeing and we want it to be even, we want to add a little bit of dish soap into our dye bath. And I'm talking about like half of a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Because any more with the salt water, and it's going to turn into kind of a
Sudsy bath, right? Yeah.
And and one more thing before I put this in is I did pre-wash this beforehand. So if there's any finishes or anything on here, it might interact with the dye. So you want to make sure that you're working with a clean.
Yeah, that's really, really important. You never know what's added to the fabric during the manufacturing of it. And so it is great if it's, you know, a new item to pre-wash it. All right. Ooh. This is such an interesting blue. This is Kentucky Sky, right?
Yes. Sky. Gallons of water.
So the stirring really is important because again, it you know allows the dye to penetrate the fabric from all different angles. If you don't stir, then it might just hit one area more than the others, and it could lead to splotchiness or uneven dye. So, you know, just put on some good music or a good show or something or a good audiobook.
I think it's the first 15 minutes are the most important in terms of stirring for even coverage, just to really get it nicely covered. And then after that, I'm gonna let it simmer in there, but I don't enjoy letting my clothes just simmer. I like to keep a close eye on it.
Yeah.
And then take it out. color is just right. Another thing is that clothes are, or when clothes are dyeing, they will look darker. And so when
Yeah,
they
that's pretty
dye, it gets lighter. So like, yeah, this is like a nice soft blue right now, but it might dry a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna let it sit in there for just a little bit longer to really get the color deeper. And the
Yeah,
longer you
and I
leave
can
it,
start. Actually, let me get my gloves on. Guess you're adding another rubber band.
yeah,
Oh, good. We have two pairs of tongs, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Hmm.
Very rough. Nothing too crazy. Jonathan is stirring the other swimsuit back there. And since we did blue and or purple and pink for one, should this be blue and purple?
Are you gonna do two?
Yeah, I was gonna dip dye.
Fine. Yeah,
Other side.
let's do it.
There is our diaper in.
Or should we try the pink because we haven't used that yet, right?
Uh,
Oh yeah, we did with the glasses. Well, up to you. Let's do purple.
yeah, everything, honestly. We could do pink for the Crocs too.
Okay, yeah,
Since we got
perfect.
three going. All right. The bottom first, and then we'll test it. If we need to add more, we'll add. But see what this is looking like first. Towel test.
I love it. Yeah.
Again, if you want that purple to be lighter, just add more water. If you want it to be darker, just add more. All right, I'm gonna put on my gloves.
There's like three main things that will affect the color. There's the temperature, the water to dye ratio, and I'm missing one thing. Or maybe that's it. Yeah. Oh, and the fabric content.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I'm gonna try to dip this top half.
So when you're tie-dyeing, do you need to stir?
It depends. Well, for DyeMore, because it has to be stovetop method, I just kind of stir the garment in the dye bath. Whereas if you were tie dyeing with a regular all-purpose, you would just be using squeeze bottles. So stirring is still very important. It's just difficult to stir something that's already bound up.
Mhm.
So it's not as important, but you can still move it around to make sure that you get the coverage that you want.
This is a nice, also like I think easy way to tie-dye is tie-dye with actual like buckets or containers.
Yeah.
Whether it's with our all-purpose dye with cotton things or even with synthetics. Instead of using squeeze bottles, you can just make a couple of hot dye baths. It could be a single color tie-dye, or you could have two dye baths to do two colors. But a lot of people, when they're tie-dyeing, they think that the only way to do it is with squeeze bottles, but in fact, you can also do it with, you know, more traditional dye baths like this.
Take this other side now. I'm sorry, I didn't know my fingers. And then I'm going to turn over into the bath over here. And same way. Oh, okay.
Mm.
When you're dip dyeing, it's not really just like purple and then blue and then it's over. You kind of want to go back and forth, pick it up and down to really help smooth out to really smooth out the color gradation here. Right there, you can kind of see there's a harsh line, so I'm just gonna repeat and flip her over this way and try to get a little bit more gradient there. Ooh, there we go. And this is why it's so important to wear gloves during this process. I don't think that purple on the blue, but we'll see what that does. Probably good to take the swimsuit out of that one.
Okay,
Feeling about the color there.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, all right. Let's take her out then. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Yep. All right, I'm gonna give this a quick rinse and then I will be back to show you what it looks like.
Okay, is there anything I can do with this? To continue moving up and down? Okay.
Use the tongs. I'm gonna rinse this in warm water first and then gradually to cool. I think with swimsuits, with this material, it's not as important, but it's really important when it comes to polyester dresses or anything like that. You want to make sure that you're rinsing with warm and then cold as to not to shock the fabric, because once you shock it, it might kind of shrivel up and there's really no coming back from that.
We don't want any shocking of the fabric.
And then that will like set the wrinkles on there. So
Yeah.
just important to rinse with warm and then cold after. Okay. That.
Are there any swimsuits that are, you think, where you don't need to use DyeMore, or is it always, they're pretty much always synthetic, right?
Nylon is a really good example. If your swimsuit is made of nylon, all purpose actually works really great with nylon. But I would probably still use DyeMore, even for nylon, just in case, especially for the lining of the swimsuit. They're oftentimes different material too, compared to like the actual outer.
Yeah.
So, all right. Finish rinsing this.
And do a reveal. All right, we're back.
Here.
Ooh. I don't believe that was dyed.
You just saw it here. I did go ahead and I did remove the cups first just because I didn't want them to create any sort of weird shapes or discoloration between top and the bottom here for any reason. So yeah, and then we'll go ahead and rinse out and unravel.
See the color. Yeah.
Unravel our tie-dye.
Here. It's always good to have containers and paper
Yes.
towels and
This is what
things
it
handy.
looks like. And I'm gonna go right over to the sink and just rinse it off and I'll be back.
Someone just asked if the dye baths are reusable. They are. The only thing we would say is that the result may be a little bit lighter than the prior dye bath because some of the dye has, gone into the fabric and is not in the dye bath anymore. All right. Here, why don't I hold this and you can. Yeah. Very excited to see what this is going to look like.
Me. Got some scissors here. Where the top was in the dye bath that Jonathan was working on and the swimsuit that we just showed you, but it was in there for less time. So it's going to be a little bit lighter if our predictions are correct, which they are.
How many rubber bands do we use?
We use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Are there certain ones that like, do you think won't hold up in hot water, or typically every rubber band you've used is
Yeah,
held up?
it's pretty heat resistant. Sometimes they do die, but I've never had rubber bands breaking on me from the heat, from what I can recall. I always usually blame it on something else. All right. Looks like there's a little bit of dye on top of these scissors. Ooh, this is my favorite part
Yeah.
ever. Ooh. You never know what you're gonna get. Also, be very careful when you're cutting because you don't want to accidentally cut your garment as well. All right, here we go.
Ooh,
Okay.
very cool. It's just so cool. You could create something that literally doesn't exist, that you
Right.
would never think you could tie-dye.
I can't believe this was white and now it has this very cool design.
It almost kind of looks like there's an ombre where it's like darker purple at the bottom and
Yeah.
it kind of gets lighter and lighter, and then the blue is lighter.
Because we didn't have bands on the top part or the bottom part, it was just this little
Right.
section. So yeah.
Cool.
And I mean, honestly, we don't even really have to dry this because this is essentially what it's gonna look like when it's wet. But we'll let this lay out and come back to this.
Yeah, we've known people, I mean, we've been dyeing our swimsuits for a long time, but one thing that I've never heard is it's never really the chlorine or the pools or salt water, it's never really affected the dye.
So here we go. And then I'm gonna go hang these up and I'll be right back. Jonathan, you wanna get?
Yeah, I'll get the crock started. So we're gonna be pouring pink into the dye bath, and the third dye bath we have going. I'll move this out of the way, actually. So we're gonna be using, actually, I've been wanting to use tropical teal, one of our favorite new colors from about 3 years ago. I'm gonna pour the whole bottle in there. There, all right, now I'm gonna give it a little stir. Check the color. Always gotta make sure you stir pretty thoroughly to make sure all the dye is evenly dispersed in the dye bath. Okay. And paper towels. What do you think, Helena?
Ooh.
Think
Pretty.
we need any more?
I sometimes like to do a test with just the strap.
Okay.
So it's like a nice little tester, since like the paper towel is a good test, but that's mostly for when you're actually dyeing clothes or fabric or cottons. But since we're dyeing crocks, we just want to use, the material that it actually is to test the.
So how much water in here? About 3 gallons, right?
Yeah, about 3 gallons, and we put the whole bottle in.
Mhm.
Okay.
I put half the bottle.
Oh,
Half was already used, but I got another bottle here just in case we need it. That's smart to use the strap. It's like almost like your extra fabric. Yeah.
Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes it takes immediately, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
I thought it was looking a little light on the paper towel, so maybe we should add a little bit more dye.
Let's try that out.
Okay.
This is where we're at right now. You can kind of see it started to take.
I added about a quarter more of a bottle.
Okay.
It's about 2 ounces. So we're probably at like 6 ounces to 3 gallons of water in here.
And this was the same one that Jonathan just used. So we'll just kind of test it to see what the difference in saturation levels are. This won't tell us the true color since
Oh, that's
it
very
is
vibrant.
much more vibrant. So I'm interested to see how that's going to translate on here. The other thing about dyeing rubber shoes or Crocs or anything like this is that you kind of want to buy a size, one size larger, because they do tend to shrink just a tiny bit. But if they do shrink, it's not a big problem because you can kind of put them back into a warm bath and then put some fuzzy socks on and put your shoes or put your feet into them, and they kind of like mold to your shape and will stretch out. I actually do them to my Crocs, even if I don't dye them, just to get like a better fit. It's kind of like Birkenstocks and
You learn something new every day. I did not know that trick. Let's.
and also you should be wearing gloves. I'm not wearing mine, but you should be wearing yours. Oh, I love
That's
this.
gorgeous.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so pretty.
Let's go for it. I'm gonna switch the camera over to the other view so you can see the pots better. Got your tongs for you here.
Okay.
So we don't need salt, right? When it's 100% synthetic
Yes, no salt for
or vinegar.
no vinegar, just a little bit of dish soap if you're dyeing clothes
Oh.
or fabric.
I did forget to add that. Glad you put that up.
But not for Crocs.
Oh, you don't need it for Crocs? No. Okay.
Because it's not fabric. We
Got
typically-
it.
If it's something that is like moving around and stirring, totally. But because these are just like shoes and pretty.
Yeah. I love how teal is like the perfect balance of green and blue. Yeah. That was pink. Purple. That was purple.
Okay. This is gonna go good. Should we do our pink back and then dip dye that?
Yeah.
Other side. A little bit, but it pops off pretty easily. Okay. Well, we didn't have a pink. We didn't make a pink. Okay. Good point. We have the
Let's just do teal.
we're gonna just put this guy in here. Whoop, there we go. Stir, stir. While that happens, so put this guy in there as well. Should we do the whole thing or just dip dye?
Let's do a dip dye. Yeah.
Decide if I want to dip dye it this way or this way.
I think the front. Yeah.
Just the toe right here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Have your Crocs at home and they're pink or purple or orange. If they're lighter color, you can totally over dye them and do this like dip dye technique on it to get this like really pretty like dual tone ombre. But again, you can also do that with just these Crocs as well. Ooh, wow.
If you're dyeing used, yeah, that is really pretty. If you're dyeing Crocs that are or clogs that are already worn and they're dirty,
Very, alcohol or just like a harsh cleaner to get it really white or really clean and true to color, and then over dye them. It's kind of the same principle of washing your clothes before dyeing them to get rid of any finishes. All right, looking so pretty. I honestly like that's the color I want to stop at. I feel like if it gets any darker, it's gonna start turning like a little bit more green. So I'm gonna pull that out now, give that a quick rinse, and then I will bring it back to show you guys. All right. Oops. Here she is. I just rinsed it out. Wow.
Yeah,
That's so
incredible.
good. Let me take the strap. Oh, wow.
Oh, love this color.
So, yeah.
Mm.
Leave this one dyed so that we have a little mismatched moment here. Oops. All right. Should we dip dye like only the stuff on this one or do something different or the same?
Oh yeah, I think yeah, the same. Same makes sense.
It'll probably be, say it was like a minute or two.
Is there anything you've ever come across that you've tried to dye that you couldn't dye?
Uh, metal, but the thing is, I've seen people online get some sort of like tints from it, but I've never been able to dye metal. I don't know if metal is dyeable.
Yeah. You've even dyed candle, like wax, right?
Yeah, I've dyed wax. By just, it's not really dyeing the wax. The wax and the dye particles will just kind of congeal together when you melt the wax, and it kind of becomes part of the wax. That makes sense. Which is really helpful because wax dyes are very expensive. And so just using our dye powders would be really
The
great.
powder is probably the way to go, right? Because you want to make it really concentrated.
So, most recently, I dyed grout. That was pretty crazy. Again, I recommend powder for that, just so that you're not adding more or less liquid than you need.
Just so everyone can see, this is what our powder packaging looks like. Hello. We don't have a powder for DyeMore, just for our all-purpose dye. What about ceramics? I feel like I've struggled with that in the past. Have you ever been able to dye that?
I have ceramics that have already been completed, but I have been able to dye the not the grout, but the what would you call that? Like the clay.
Clay,
The
right.
clay and or
And you've dyed concrete.
yes.
Here, I'm gonna go back to our other camera. Oh, there you go. Whoa. Very cool. Satin. Satin, I think, is typically synthetic, right?
If it is synthetic or not, it could be polyester satin or it could be like silk satin. So depends on the type of satin, but if it's a polyester satin, then I definitely recommend DyeMore. But again, with the dresses, you want to rinse them warm and then cool, so it doesn't set any weird wrinkles onto the garment itself. And unfortunately, if your garment says no hot water or no warm water and cold wash only, we don't recommend dyeing it, unfortunately.
Well, those are four things that honestly, I was shocked to know that you could dye.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Got the glasses.
It's really quick.
Oh yeah, good point. Forgot about those. Where's the original one? Here's the one that you took out right away. There's that nice like lavender lilac kind of tone. Helena's rinsing the other ones right now as we speak.
Using our very important slotted spoon. Okay. And here is, let me take my gloves off here.
Mhm.
Here is what the darker.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'd say that one was in for what, like a minute, 30 seconds?
yes.
And this was in for however long this video has been going for. So you can kind of tell the difference between how long it's been sitting in the dye bath.
And you can
for.
kind of just leave them in, right? You don't have to
Yeah.
necessarily stir them like you would with fabric.
I would stir them once in a while, but it's not as important. It could potentially, like, if the bottom is like sitting on the bottom of the jar, then it might not get the dye onto the bottom of that button, but just give it a quick stir and it'll be fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So anyways, so to recap, we dyed clogs, a swimsuit, which I got over here. Did it both solid. Here's the tie-dye one. Buttons, and then lastly, glasses. So cool. And it sounds like I'm gonna be dyeing some candles soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to wear this and those sunglasses and these Crocs and have myself a nice little beach day.
Well, thank you for joining us. You can always check out our website or email us or DM us, or we manage all of those channels, and we're always available to answer any questions you may have. We really appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
And we'll see you again, I believe, in a month and a half for our next live class with Michaels. So we'll see you soon.
So much fun. Thank you.
Thank you.